Hi everyone, how's it going today? I hope you're having a good one. I hope you enjoyed part one of Chris Anthony talking on the Schwab network. And we're going to get into the second part of that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here joining us on Free Power. We're getting into where Chris Anthony is talking on Schwab Network, and he's giving out some really good information. So we're going to go ahead and get into part two of that. So let's go ahead and check this out.
So how big is this car? Is this going on a parkway or a highway, or is it more for town?
It's actually larger than it may appear in pictures. It's as wide as a regular pickup truck, a Ford F-150 pickup truck, and it's as long as a Prius. So it's got lots of useful space in the back. You can actually camp in the back of the Aptera. We've got a tent that goes over the rear. And it's really cool to think that you could drive a couple hundred miles to your favorite camping spot. You could camp for a week, and you could actually come home with more power in your Aptera than you left with. It's really the first vehicle that produces its own fuel.
And I was thinking also about how you compete with the other electric vehicles. I mean, I think that this one's different because you have solar, and that's an added benefit. You don't have to plug in to get that 40 miles from solar, assuming you have a nice sunny environment. How do you compete against other electric vehicles when we know a lot of our big companies here at home have said they're backing off on EV production a bit? It's a little less of what people want lately. What's going to be different about Aptera's, vehicle?
Well, even with electric vehicles today, that power has to come from somewhere. The great thing about the Aptera is it's grid independent. You don't have to stop at the gas pump. You just leave the Aptera outside and it charges itself. We really are creating a whole new vehicle category, a vehicle category of vehicles that fuel themselves. And, in that regard, there really is no competition for us. We're the only solar mobility player. And this is the only thing that exists that you can just leave outside and let it charge and use it for all your daily driving needs without having to worry about a plug or a gas pump.
So you made one, right? You made one and it came off the belt. Is that where we're at right now? And it's very exciting that it did exactly that, right? Is that where we're at?
Well, we've gone through 4 different kind of prototype development cycles. Some of the vehicles behind me are some of those earlier development vehicles. And now we've started our production line. So the first vehicle has rolled off of our validation line. That's really how do we balance the line? How do we learn about how the parts actually hit the vehicle on the floor? How do we manage our inventory? And we'll be stepping through that process for the next 3 or 4 months, learning about the manufacturability of the vehicle, and then hoping to scale up for full manufacturing by the end of the year and delivering to a customer and then scaling in 2027.
Okay, the person that's giving this interview is asking some really good questions about the size of the Aptera. Now we know that the front of the Aptera, it's basically or close to about 85, 88 inches wide. So when you get on narrow roads, you're going to have to be careful driving this. But the good news is that since it is an auto cycle, you can get on in the HOV lane and you won't even get charged for it because it's an auto cycle. So that's good news for the Aptera. And then there's plenty of room. I mean, there's so much room. You can fit a lot of stuff back there. Has 32 cubic feet of space in the back since it's only a 2-seater. So you can carry around a lot of stuff. This is good for commuters, for when you're just going to work and back home. Because with the solar panels, you get up to 40 miles of range a day. And one of the good things about Aptera is the back of it is just covered with solar panels. So nobody can really see into the vehicle from the back. And like he brought out, that you could go camping, you could stay there for a week and a half, and then you end up with more power in your battery pack than when you got there. Or you could do this. You could go over a friend's house. You could sleep in the back of the Aptera, especially if you're going to stay there for a couple of weeks. And if you just stay there for 5 days and it's sunny those 5 days, you could get 200 miles of range just from having your vehicle parked there. And if you stay there for 7 days, you get up to 280 miles of range or about. So that's just some awesome things about Aptera. And this vehicle, he creating a whole new class. This vehicle will be the only vehicle that produces its own power, its own fuel for free. And I can't stress that enough. You get this for free. But anyway, some really fantastic things that they're talking about here. So this is interesting. She said that they only made one. If you think about that, every auto company or whoever produces some type of good, they have to make the first one. But I mean, that's just the start. They made one. They have to validate the line. They have to see what's going to work, how the supply chain is going to work and operate. And as they continue to do that, they'll get better and better at it, which means the production will get faster as well. So even though they did just make one, this is just the start. We know that Aptera is going to start cranking things up, and then they'll start mass producing them very soon. He wants to come out with a slow production in 2027, as he said. And eventually it'll get to the point where they can probably even have the production line automated. So this is a very good start. I think this is fantastic. What do you guys think about the interview so far? I think Chris Anthony is knocking it out of the park. He's really doing a fantastic job. And I really like all the answers that he's given them, as well as the rest of the world, everybody that's listening to this interview. So maybe by the end of next year, they're probably cranking the Apteras out. And, I know that they're going to get them into the hands of their customers as fast as possible. I'm just questioning when they're going to start working on the 600-mile version, because that's the one I'm getting. Yes, I want my Aptera now. But I waited this long. I can wait a little longer. No problem. And I hope all of you guys are still hanging in there too. But this is awesome news. They are really doing fantastic things. Like I always said, I know they're going to get this out there. And even Steve Fambro said that they are not going to let anything stop them.
Aptera is more than a vehicle. It's a movement. And Chris and I will stop at nothing to get this vehicle into production. The world needs solar mobility. And here we are, closer than ever before to delivery. I have no doubt that Aptera is going to succeed. I can't wait until I'm handing over the first key card to a customer delivery. Until then, see you soon.
So I look forward to many more things coming from Aptera, and we're just going to go ahead and end this right here. So if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the like, ring the bell, subscribe. You catch all my videos when they come out. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you in the next video. All right. I'll have part 3 coming out probably tomorrow. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.